It's me, Handsome. What's good, man? We here at the first episode of Verse for Verse. I'm here with my brothers. Introduce yourselves.
James Rich, you know what it is.
And over here,
Big Seth, aka Big Thunder General.
Big U in the building.
It's good.
And listen, man, this we gonna have some fun. You know what I mean? This show is about us. I don't want to say what everybody say, giving people their flowers, but we gonna talk about all of the great verses that we believe are great.
I got some
dope,
flowers.
Amazing. You know what I mean? And we gonna talk about what makes these verses great, dope, or amazing. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Today's special episode is going to the GOAT. Some may say the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? You got the black guy and the white guy. You got Jay-Z and Eminem, Renegade. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of talk on this song about how Jay got smoked or Diddy gets...
it was like the only time ever.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You
know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that because I think both of the verses are dope. So, you know what I mean? I want to talk about why they're dope to me. And, you know, so I'm going to start off with the whole verse, you know what I mean? Here's how he comes in, you feel me? MFers say that I'm foolish. I only talk about jewels. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? See, I'm influenced by the ghetto. You ruined the same dude you gave nothing. I made something doing what I do through and through. And all right, so let's stop. Let's stop for a minute. Like, how y'all feel about them first bars right there? Like, he's already set the tone. All right, and I want to bring it back 1 second because the song is called Renegade. Do y'all know what a renegade is? Like, do y'all know the definition of a renegade?
Before you tell me what the dictionary definition, I believe like a renegade is somebody just who goes off the cuff, goes away from societal norms, I guess, and just does what they want. That's how I look at it. Okay,
so the definition says it's a person who deserts and betrays an organization, country, or a set of principles. Right?
Okay.
So, just real quick, do y'all think Eminem and Jay-Z are renegades?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've represented themselves, in this song, definitely.
And you saying that actually makes M's verse make more sense to me now, as you say it. I mean, I already thought that, but I like that.
Yeah, I'm saying, I think to really enjoy the song as much as we do, you got to know who these guys are. You know what I mean? What they've represented. I think the first album dropped in 97. This song is in 2001. So he's famous for doing whatever he's been doing at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of the stuff he's been rapping about, whether it's gay peoples, whether it's religion. You know what I mean? So he's being labeled a renegade.
He's
clearly
been labeled that at this point.
You know what I mean? Jay-Z, on the other hand, also labeled a renegade because he's black. He's talking about how he sold drugs in the hood and the stuff that's going on. So I just think you must know a little bit about them before you listen to the track and be able to actually digest it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Who can inherit the title?
There you go.
Beef and hysterics.
So he starts off, like I said, they say that I'm foolish. I only talk about jewels. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? See, I'm influenced by the ghetto. You ruined the same dude you gave nothing. I made something doing what I do through and through. I give you the news with a twist. It's just his ghetto point of view. The renegade, you been afraid. I penetrate pop culture, bring them a lot closer to the blocks where they pop toasters. And they live with their moms, got drop roasters. From botched robberies, niggas crotched over.
Yikes.
Mommy's knocked up cause she wasn't watched over. Knocked down by some clown when child support not. No, he's not around. Now how that sound to you? Jot it down. I'll bring you through the ghetto without riding round. Hiding down, ducking strays. From frustrated youth stuck in their ways. Just mad at magazine that effed up my day. How you rate music that thugs with nothing relate to it. I help them see they way through it. Not you. Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes. But everything you worth, you lose your tie and your shirt. So listen, Rich, I mean,
amazing verse.
Tell me.
The greatest ever.
Tell me, what do you feel when you hear that verse, man?
I mean, I feel what I've been hearing from Jay for as long as he's been out. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to paint it. I bring you through the ghetto without riding around. Like exactly what he said. he's a amazing orator, and his words are so visual. And then the lyrical ability is obviously there. You know, just the alliteration, like the syllables, all of that. You know, it's crazy.
Okay, and Seth, how you feel? Same thing. Like, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I feel like whenever Jay-Z picks up a microphone or goes in the booth or whatever, I was gonna say write a verse, but he don't write his verses, so I can't say that. So whenever he get on the mic, he has a job. There's something that he's going out there to make some sort of statement.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess I could get more into when you start asking about the M thing. It's a clash of styles, but I think it's a great clash of styles that made a classic song.
Facts.
Because M is just talent and is raw. Jay-Z is going into it probably knowing that, you know, this is A-B, this is going to connect like this. I'm going to say this. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to elicit this response, blah, blah, blah.
I think it's dope you said that because I think, yeah, you're right. Like, and I think about that when I hear the song. It's like he knows how Eminem's coming. And he has to come out, he comes.
So let me say, you know what I mean? You know, from stuff that I heard throughout the years, this was Royce the 5'9" and Eminem song originally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I heard Jay-Z was added later on and Royce was taken off, so they talk about that.
I've never heard
like,
that.
I think, I'm not 100% sure if Royce wrote the hook or not, but I heard, you know what I mean, it was Royce and Eminem was the Renegades.
Nice.
So it's just like, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure M probably changed his verse, or he let Hove hear it. It had the hook on it, so Hove kind of knew. If I hear what he's talking about, because M's verse is different than Hove's, you know what I mean? I feel like Hove's verse is like, let me tell you, because
it's purposeful, I think.
they're telling me I'm a renegade because I'm talking about these jewels and stuff, but that's not all I'm talking about. I'm talking about way more than that, you know what I mean? And I'm doing it for a specific group of people that can relate to me. You know what I'm saying?
And people that don't, because how he explains, like, he penetrates pop culture, bringing him a lot close. So it's like he's also a renegade because he's painting a picture of where he comes from for people who aren't from where he comes from,
right?
To understand where he comes from and who he is,
without riding around. You know
exactly, and he helps them see that. So he got both sides.
Yes.
So the people that ain't really from there, he gonna give you a picture of what it looked like, and then the people that are from there, he's so authentic that they're like, this is what we talking about right here. Yeah, so
that's a fact.
All right, so just real quick, I mean, I don't know if y'all could pull up the lyrics, but is there a favorite part in this verse right now that y'all think, like, what was a part that you was like, you know what I mean, made you go, You know what I'm
said
saying?
it a couple times. That whole part was like, I penetrate pop culture, bringing my life closer to the block where they, you know what I mean?
Toasters, and they live with their moms, got drop roasters, got botched robberies, they crotched over.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's like Seth said, it's like I feel proud. You know what I mean? Because he says it so beautifully. And a lot of people, when they talk about, you know, the hood or, you know, the ghetto, whatever you want to call it, he does it so beautifully, you know what I'm saying? Which is why he's in the Hall of Fame for this, right? I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a songwriter, because the way he writes is not the average writer. So I just loved how descriptive it is and how beautiful it sounds.
All right. So at the end where he says, "Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes."
That was gonna be my favorite part of that verse, because I feel like he didn't take a safe. So in M's verse, he's just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is talking to
Let's
a
not
specific...
talk about M's verse right now. We're just talking about Jay. Let's just talk about Jay's verse.
But
you know
but
I do think it matters.
It does, because they're styles. But Jay, I think, is talking to a specific group of people, and that group of people is a group of people that on record, the powers. People are not usually saying nothing to those people.
Yeah.
And he's explaining to them, like in the part where he's saying, he said, how you rate music that thugs with nothing relate to it. I help them see their way through it, not you. Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes.
Is that
but
a
everything
shot
you worth,
at M though?
Nah, you lose your tie in your shirt. He's talking about
that.
record execs.
That's
bro.
why I was gonna get to that.
Talking
right?
about the record execs.
I think both of them in their verses are talking to some people specifically, right? And even when they're saying these things, you know what I mean, about the people they're talking to, these guys are millionaires who sold millions of records. So realistically, you know, they're talking to specific group of people because the world loves them.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Which is why I still feel like, especially because I'm a rapper, I feel like he had to know. To me, and Jay-Z is what he does to me. He's a shot shooter. He shoots shots on a regular. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't factor. He knows how people are gonna look at this song. He knows when they do this song.
That's a fact.
It's the battle. So, and he knows Eminem's a battle rapper. So he has to know.
But just to run it back to when you saying it matters about M's verse, does it matter hearing M's verse to say how fire this verse is?
No, I meant it matter, meaning I believe that Jay-Z's verse is somewhat directed at M or a response to what he feels Eminem's going to do on this record. That's why I said that.
Yeah, I don't agree, because, we're going to get into M's verse now, but they're literally talking to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're talking to people that talk about them in a specific way. You know what I'm saying?
Or it could be a double entendre.
Jay is the master of the double entendre.
Yeah,
Coke still my sponsor. Soda. Hova still getting in with
my favorite.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to that
verse.
On the episode.
They don't even know where that's from, but go ahead. They don't even know where that verse is from. But anyway, go ahead.
All right, so that's the J verse. We're gonna get into the M verse now. So he jumps right in. He comes in hot. Since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no politician, but I kick it with them a minute. Cause see, they call me a menace. And if the shoe fits, I wear it. But if it don't, then y'all will swallow the truth, grin and bear it. So let's stop there. Let's stop right there. Off rip, you know what I mean? He understands the kids listen to him. And this is the other part that I think, when we get deeper into this, we got to talk about. Obviously, it's simple. Eminem's white, Jay-Z's black. Eminem's talking to white kids. He's not talking to black kids. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Is he though?
I don't think that. Wait, who?
Is he not though? I should have said.
Who is who not?
Is it that white? Is it that he's not? Is it that he's talking to white kids, or that a lot of white kids are listening?
What I'm saying is,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking.
No. What I'm saying is, he can't really relate to black kids, so he's talking to the people that can relate to him.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Because as we get in more to this verse,
but how many white kids can relate to his situation? If you're talking about his unique,
so his situation, we're going to get into the verse more, and then we'll bring that back.
Yeah.
Now, who's the king of these rude, ludicrous, lucrative lyrics? Who could inherit the title? Put the youth in hysterics, using his music to stare at, sharing his views and his merits. But there's a huge interference. They're saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit. Maybe it's beautiful music I made for you to just cherish.
Like I should have read the Jay-Z part, because this is you got so much, your energy.
This is his raps. I can't do it no other way.
We did that with Hope too, though.
I can't do it.
I can't.
You see, but this is the part that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
that's the part. That's the part. You know what I mean? When we talking about Eminem and we talking about this record, you know what I mean? When Jay says it on the joint with J. Cole, he goes, and the white boy flowing Renegade, effing awesome.
The flow's crazy.
He says that. You know what I mean? So he understood this flow is mean. He didn't say the message
or the lyrics.
Right. He said the flow. So it's understood to Jay that M really went off on this joint.
Flow-wise,
Flow-wise.
Nothing else.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit here and take away and say he's not saying anything. So now when he's saying, they're saying you shouldn't hear it, right? Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit. Maybe it's beautiful music I made for you to just cherish, right? I think at that point, right? Because what we talking about is, because Jay has said that, right? They try to pin a lot of negativity on rappers.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're blaming me for the bad stuff that's going on in the world? You know what I mean? Jay said it. I'm sure they watched the movie Scarface more than the rapper Scarface. You know what I mean? So they making these movies with all of this negativity and killing, but they just want to blame the rappers. So I think the way he's approaching it is on some, come on, man. I'm telling y'all what I actually been through. And like I said, if you grew up listening to M, he talks about his mother and drugs and, and all of this. And, I think when we go further into it, when he talks about they saying he's a drug addict, it's like he was a drug addict.
Mm-hmm. That's something that I don't know if we so his verse, right? His flow is impeccable and all of that. But a lot of so what he's saying is like, you guys are saying I'm this thing that, why are you saying that I'm this thing? But in his music, he says things that would lead people to say that
he's this thing.
That's what it's like. It's like, so what are you, you know, they're saying that you shouldn't hear it. He talking about, you know, beating up women. Oh, he talks about he got crazy lyrics.
But now what are we talking about? We're talking about music. We're talking about entertainment.
And freedom of speech.
No, but we talking about hip hop at the same time, and hip hop has always been held to a level of, you can't just go out there and just be saying whatever because they try to get you banned. If they've been banned. Hip hop artists have been banned.
So no, I hear you're
talking
saying
about twerking and dancing.
Right.
He's talking about beating up women and he talks about crazy stuff.
You're definitely saying specific things, right? But I'm talking entertainment purposes, right? Are we taking everything they say as this is real life?
No, but
or
you say no.
This is
me. I feel like rap music does the same thing as other genres.
Again, though, we talking about hip hop. So you can say,
do we have to be held to a certain? I'm asking. I don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying. Talking to
as
me,
rappers, I'm saying.
Talking to me as a rapper or whatever. I don't hold any artist to anything. But what I'm saying is that his verse is saying, you guys are saying blah 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 blah. But that's if you're gonna jump into the hip hop arena, that's the standard.
But I think the key. I'm sorry, I was gonna say because even part of why I like the verse is how he starts. It's they saying you shouldn't hear it. It's like you can say whatever you want, but I'm here for the people who are listening, and there's people that like what I do, they feel what I do, and I'm gonna represent. I'm gonna say what I want because as artists and as rappers, I'm gonna be that person that's gonna champion. Like, you do what you want, you say what you want, you push the boundaries to the furthest.
Let me get to the rest of the verse. All right, so we now who's the king of these ludicrous, lucrative lyrics? Who could inherit the title? Put the youth in hysterics, using his music to stare at, sharing his views and his merits. But there's a huge interference. They're saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit. Maybe it's beautiful music I made for you to just cherish. But I'm debated, disputed, hated, and viewed in America as a mother drug addict like you didn't experiment. Nah. That's when you start to stare at who's in the mirror and see yourself as a kid again. And you get embarrassed, and I got nothing to do but make you look stupid as parents. You do good as do bad. You couldn't do good in marriage. And do you have any clue what I had to do to get here? I don't think you do. Stay tuned. Keep your ears glued to the stereo, because here we go. It's jigga. And I mean, he's got noises in his verse and everything. He was wilding.
Who said that?
He's wilding.
They said when Busta does sound effects on a verse, it's like, how do you beat that? Like, when somebody starts doing that in a verse, it's tough.
I want to jump back in. So, when he starts saying, they say he's a drug addict like you didn't experiment. Like I said, I can't get with him because we know he clearly became a drug addict, talking about he relapsed and all that, like it was serious, right? But also, we talking about age. He might have 20, 23, 22, you know what I'm saying? He's a young guy. We all go through our time. So when he's writing this, maybe he doesn't feel he's a drug addict. He feels he's experimenting.
We were all drug addicts in college.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to fault him for saying it like that. You know what I'm saying? He's saying what he feels. But then, as he goes on, he's talking about you experiment or whatever, and they mad they couldn't do good in marriage. You know what I mean? Because he talks about that a lot, where it's like, you got to raise your kids.
Yeah.
You can't, it don't matter what I'm saying. What are you teaching them? Don't blame me because they listen to me and follow me rather than listen to you and follow you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another thing that we got to understand. I think that's what his verse is more about than anything.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I think just like I said about Jay verse being somewhat of a double entendre, I think we're not giving, well, I don't know if we're not, I don't feel like he's getting enough credit for speaking. He's not just talking to drug addict white kids.
Who you talking about?
Eminem. Like, I don't was an Eminem,
but
like, and the reason why I was such a big fan of him is because he was talking
My bad. I don't think it's drug addict white kids, but he's talking to their parents. He's talking to
certain parts of the verse, but that's why I said double entendre. Meaning a lot of what he's saying goes. I feel like he's talking to rappers too. I feel like he's talking to people. Anybody that critiques him, like, all you
that's
do
what
is this.
So I think that his verse is just anybody who has ever. He's the guy that if he's on Twitter or he's on anybody that put a negative comment on them, he's talking to everybody. Parents, you didn't do good at marriage. Parents, you didn't do this. The industry, y'all can't stop my this. He's talking to everybody, which is cool. But that's the difference between he's afforded to be able to do that, and I think the elephant, the race card thing is what he's allowed to speak free. Talking about they saying you shouldn't. His music would never be taken off of anything.
Well, what I was gonna say,
music has been,
but that was back in the.
I didn't get the films. What I was gonna say. What I was trying to say about the verse was that I don't think he's getting enough credit for the impact of what he's saying. There's people, me one of them, that when you growing up and listening to what he's saying, it's empowering. It's making you feel like it's okay to be different. It's okay to not have money. It's okay for people to feel a certain way about you and you still be like, nah, I'm really nice. Like, you can't stop me. And I think he doesn't get enough. And I'll admit, I said this before off camera, like, as his career progressed, I think he got away from this. But at this time, that boy was talking about coming from nothing and saying, I'm the illest, bro.
You're talking about M?
M. Yeah. That's what he was talking about.
But that's the quintessential story of rapper hip hop.
Facts.
I came from nothing and I'm nice. So, you know, I'm not the best rapper around, but I know that
at that time.
Listen, but when I'm talking about me, so I like to rap. I'm not the best rapper. The essence of rap and hip hop and all of that is how well can you rap? Can you transmit that? And that's it.
And connect.
And try to build. So he did that, but that's what everybody was doing. So it's like, you don't get extra cool points.
It's not. All right. So we gonna wrap this up right now.
Are we gonna get a vote or something?
I mean, listen. Are we saying? No, I'm gonna ask y'all. So, when y'all first heard this record, Renegade, when you first heard it back in 2001, I was 13 years old.
That's unfair for me.
I was 13, you was 15, which means you was 24. Did you, at that time, believe M's verse was better than Jay's?
I hands down did, but I was a kid.
That's what I was going to say, because of that. So I understand, I understand Eminem spilling his heart out, but from what Hov is talking about is like, Eminem is like, if people are saying, aha, whatever, he's like, but you, which is cool, but what's meaningful? Because the parents that didn't do good in marriage, them, who cares? Like, those people are not, they have no effect on your career or whatever.
Right.
Hov is talking about the machine.
But that matters to people.
No, it does. I agree with that.
We're not going to get too deep into that. You know what I'm saying?
One thing, it's not about the verses. I also still feel to this day that M has the better first verse. To this day, I still believe that.
And I feel like that if there's any discussion of whose verse is better, it's only in the first verse. Because when he starts talking about whoop-de-doo and looking,
Cut it.
Yeah. So
these biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that.